patient that has a lot of leakage. We've been working on strengthening the pelvic floor, and even during the exercises of kegels, he finds himself leaking as well, and after. So I just want to know, what am I missing? How do we solve this issue, and what's your feedback?
Yeah, like people tend to, jump into giving Kegel exercise very fast, okay? But a lot of these men, when they do Kegel exercise, and actually cause a lot of intra-abdominal pressure, and this pressure can put a lot of stress to the bladder, that's the reason why they have a leakage, right? So a lot of people that come in, the first thing I work with them actually is they have to know how to control their intra-abdominal pressure, okay? So I always start by just explain to them some basic physiology and let them know where the bladder is, how the pressure generated, okay? So this is how I start normally. Okay, I will tell them this is basically the belly, okay? And this is like a balloon, and this balloon will support our body, and then that's why sometimes they can increase a lot of pressure inside, right? So the pressure inside we call intra-abdominal pressure. Yeah. And this is the brain, and we have this, spinal cord is here, the bladder here. So if they finish, the surgery, basically there's no prostate. But if people that have a lot of urgency, I will draw a prostate here, right? So, and here you can just draw the urethra and penis. So this is how I teach them the anatomy, okay? Let them know the bladder is right in the front, right? So if you see the pelvic, this in the front, but the rectum actually in the center, okay? So this is the pressure place on the bladder. Okay, so that's a lot of people why they cough and they have a leakage. When they move, they have leakage is because when they move, the pressure cannot be controlled.
It's pushing down.
Exactly. So if you think about, you're trying to squeeze, you try to control your urethra, right? By doing Kegel exercise. But at the same time, this amount of pressure cannot be controlled. Yeah. So that's probably the reason why there's a leakage.
So in a way, when they're doing the contraction, they're almost creating like almost a valsava, or bearing down into the bladder and pushing the urine out.
Exactly. Okay. So how I teach them, so I think the most efficient way is actually assess and do it in standing. Okay. Right? So because this is most people they are complaining about, and you can give them direct visual feedback, so they know they are doing something right or not. Okay. Okay. So let's get started. Yeah. Okay. So normally before they undress them, because they're gonna have leakage and they feel very embarrassing about just like the leakage. So before that, I will explain to them what we're gonna do. Okay. So I would ask them to put one hand here in my lower part of the belly. Right. So sometimes even just tell them like below my belt. Okay. So this is the closest part to our bladder. And basically, we don't want to feel anything actually increase this pressure. So any pushing, anything, this is gonna cause a problem. Yes, okay. So we're gonna teach them a breathing technique with a focus on breathing in, so like relaxing, okay, which is there's no any pressure increase, and they were able to breathe efficiently into their pelvis. Okay, so I'm gonna show them. This is chest breathing. If chest breathing, there's no muscle activity here. Okay, so they need to breathe deeper, right? So if they breathe deeper in like this way, so you see the pressure felt right away. Yeah. Okay, so this pressure, if you do it, normally they were gonna have a leakage right away.
Yeah, pushes into my hand. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So then you're gonna teach them. You need to breathe through the nose and relaxing, and just get the pressure into the pelvis, which is like almost 360-degree breathing. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate. So it's something like this. And it's so relaxing. Yeah. And you don't feel any pressure in. And while they exhale, they're gonna activate their transverse, right? So they're gonna exhale like this, which is further remove the pressure. So tell them this is remove the pressure, and this you control the pressure, right? So you make sure the pressure is always low. So inhale and exhale.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
It's very gentle.
Yeah. Yeah. So after I demonstrate, normally what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask the patient, to undress them and don't be worried about, if any leakage. Yeah. So I put a lot of towels on the floor, and get them their hands feel the same way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use my hand overlap their hands,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna start to do this exercise. Sometimes the leakage can be start like very like a lot. And
Yeah.
then as soon as they control the pressure, you
You
can
see it.
see immediate stop of their leakage.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a patient. I saw him like a couple of weeks ago. He has been having leakage for a year. Okay, he's right now considering like an artificial urethra.
Okay.
Okay, like he's on waiting list, and just by doing this exercise, and then we achieve like a 40% improvement in 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he may eventually still go through the surgery, but just this technique just changed his quality of life immediately.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this technique, are you using it at the same time as either a pelvic floor contraction or exercising, or is it just as a technique that you want them to incorporate in their day-to-day and just change their breathing pattern as a whole?
Yeah, very good question. So sometimes I just use this as a single exercise called pressure control. They stand,
Okay.
you know, they just remove their diapers and they have to do this breathing exercise to make sure there is no leakage.
Okay.
Right? It can be a single exercise, and definitely sometimes we can incorporate with the pelvic floor contraction. So ask them to contract the pelvic floor while I exhale. So make sure they don't feel any pressure increase during the performance. And the visual feedback is so important because if you do the exercise properly, there is no leakage, right? So I can use that. And sometimes I will do pacing exercise. What's pacing? Is I will pace their activity with this exercise.
Okay.
So then, you know, they're gonna stand there, okay? They inhale. While they inhale, they don't do any movement, okay? So all the movements happen during exhale because exhale will remove the pressure. So they're gonna inhale, okay, no leakage, and then while exhale, they start to stepping. Okay, make sure there is no leakage. Okay, so when I work with a patient who have post-prostatectomy, most likely the position I do always in standing, you know, because it's most functional exercise we give to them.
Okay.